Welcome and good evening to the City of Shakopee City Council meeting for Tuesday, September 20th, 2022. Item number 1, if we could call the roll, please.
Councilmember Brennan?
Here.
Councilmember Lehman? Here. Councilmember Whiting? Here. Councilmember Contreras?
Here.
Mayor Mars?
Here. Thank you very much. If we could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, moving ahead. Approval of the agenda. Nate, are there any changes?
No changes from staff.
Okay. Councilor Brennan?
Make a motion to approve the agenda of September 20th.
Second.
I have a motion and a second by Councilor Whiting. Further discussion? Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, motion passes. Moving ahead to item number 4, our consent agenda. Nate, are there any changes?
There's no changes from staff with the exception of an updated list has been provided for 4A3, which is the delinquent refuse bills.
The update on the delinquent garbage bills. So before us, Councilor Whiting.
Make a motion to approve the consent business, noting the updated list.
I have a motion and a second by Councilor Lehman.
Second.
Okay. There really wouldn't be any further discussion. Before we vote on the consent agenda, we would read the consent agenda into the public record. Nate.
Agenda item 4A1 approves the city council minutes from September 6, 2022. 4A2 approves the audit engagement letter with ABDO for the years ending December 31st, 2022 and 2023. 4A3 declares amounts, orders the preparation of proposed assessments, and sets a public hearing date for delinquent refuse bills. 4A4 declares amounts, orders the preparation of proposed assessments, and sets a public hearing date for delinquent false alarms and mowing service bills. 4A5 adopts resolution number R 2022-117, certifying assessments for delinquent sewer and storm drainage accounts from July 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2021. And adds a $25 administrative charge for collection with payable 2023 property taxes, and writes off delinquent accounts less than $25, which total $202.70. Item 4B1 adopts resolution R 2022-122, approving the preliminary and final plat for Reliacor First Edition. 4B2 approves street and parking lot closure for the Shakopee Chamber of Commerce Shock-O-Lantern Festival on October 1st, 2022 from noon till 7 p.m. 4C1 declares forfeited vehicles as surplus property and authorize their disposal. 4D1 approves the purchase of a 2022 Ford Mach-E electric vehicle from Ford of Hibbing in the amount of $58,850. 4D2 approves the hiring of a new Public Works Senior Engineering Technician at grade 170, step 6 of the City 2022 non-union pay plan. And 4D3 adopts resolution number R 2022-125, accepting work on the 2022 cured in place sewer pipe lining project and authorize the final payment of $6,792.45.
Thank you very much. A motion has been made and seconded to approve the consent agenda as stated. The consent agenda has been read into the public record. There would be no further discussion, so all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, consent agenda has been approved. Thank you very much. Let's move ahead to item number 5. Now I'd like to call on any resident citizen that would like to come forward and make comment on an item not on the agenda. Please come forward, state your name and address for the record, and welcome on an item not on the agenda. Nate, have we received any electronic communication?
No, sir.
All right. Seeing none then, we would move ahead. Item number 6, business removed from consent. We had none. Then we would move on to 7A1, our monthly financial review for August 2022, and Nate will present. Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Tonight I'll be covering the monthly financial review through August. This slide shows the general fund through August, so typically we'd expect to be 67% of revenues and expenditures. Total revenues are tracking ahead for the year. Taxes remain relatively flat until we receive our second half settlement at the start of December, and the majority of intergovernmental revenues will come in the fall. Licenses and permits are ahead of the full year budget by over 1.6 million as a result of building permit revenue. In comparison to last year, in total for licenses and permits, we're at 4.4 million compared to 3.3 million. So a strong year so far in building permit revenues and permits. Expenditures in total are in line with the budget today at 67%. Finance is currently exceeding the target percentage. This is a primary result of the timing of our audit and assessment contracts, which are paid at the first half of the year but cover the full year. Planning and development is currently exceeding the target percentage as a result of the Canterbury Entertainment EAW. However, these expenditures will be fully reimbursed by the developer. The building inspection department is also exceeding the target percentage, primary result of credit card fees related to the building permit revenue, and then annual software costs. For the recreational facilities, here's the budget to actual for Sand Venture, which is now closed for the year, but had another very strong year. We ended up with $239,000 of total revenue for the year, which exceeded the budget target of $188,500. ICE arena revenues are similar to last year. We're currently at 53% of our budgeted annual revenues. And then community center are ahead of the previous year and currently at 59% of our budgeted annual revenues. So I can answer any questions you might have.
Well, I'd like to say congratulations to Sand Venture. Our residents are really coming out and using that facility again. Another great year. I think that's two in a row for that, coming out of the pandemic. So great numbers on Sand Venture and our efforts there, and hopefully down the line we can even improve on that. So, other questions either on this slide or the previous slide? Councilor Lehman.
Mayor, I've said it before, but this is just kind of odd. The parentheses are in the wrong places, you know? Usually when you see a line item without the parentheses, it's a positive.
Right.
And when you see it in the parentheses, it's a negative. And I don't know why
Plus
that's,
it's revenues, yeah,
I don't know why that's backward, but
to budget, yeah.
All right. Any other, or,
Not a great actual explanation, but the simplest way is our software for the revenues, it'll show them as the negative, so as opposed to converting this into any other different format, that's how it's shown on the report.
We like these, we want more of these, yeah.
well, the thing is, Mayor, is that when you look at the Sand Venture 168, the Ice Arena 64, the Community Center 779, them are all negative numbers.
Yep,
And, you know, this is,
I get you.
you know what I mean? So it's kind of deceiving. It looks like a profit in the normal world, but in the government world, it's just the opposite of.
right. Well, I think we're doing pretty well. But I agree. I'm from my accounting background and all that, it's correct. But any other questions, comments? If not, thank you, Nate, very much for your presentation. And we would move ahead then to 8A, which is our city bill list, which is in front of us. Any comment, questions on the city bill list? Seeing none, we would move forward to our liaison report, and let's start down here, Councilor Contreras.
Thank you, Mayor, but I don't have one tonight.
That's all right. Thank you very much, Councilor Whiting.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Mayor. During the month of October, MVTA, our local bus service, will be raising awareness for surrounding areas for breast cancer, and we have a MVTA bus wrapped in a pink wrap with hope on it. So you might be seeing the pink bus for breast cancer, hope and survivors. So you might be seeing that, and we look forward to that. And also you saw on our consent business Shakopee Chambers event coming up. It's going to be kind of a trunk or treat Shako Lantern Festival. Kind of trunk or treats downtown, band, Home Street and Lewis Street. and that was on Saturday, 10/1. Looks like we have to check the hours between 2 and 7 maybe, but check those hours. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. Counselor Lehman.
RTF executive met, and they proposed a 3-year budget. I was opposed to that. We all know they're in the middle of a study right now, so it's kind of hard to forecast a budget not knowing what comes out of that study. We did approve a 1-year budget for next year with no change to the membership contributions. So,
Couple years in a row on that.
yes, but we did approve 1 year for 2023. Study's been taking a while. Hopefully that study is done by the end of 2023, so we know where we're going with that, with the future of that location. The scale exec met. Janet Williams, Savage Mayor, got an award from the LMC Ludwig Award. That was pretty cool. Raced with her on Raceway Park for a, I don't know, elected challenge. It was pretty fun years back. Maxfield study was out with the commercial industrial study to 2040, 1.7% slower than the past, which isn't too bad considering interest in inflation and stuff, and a pandemic, I suppose. They went over various square feet of industrial and office space and commercial and what's needed and stuff. And then the last topic was the CDA First Stop Shop. They did a presentation on what they're working on and stuff. So just kind of an overview from the scale exec. That's what was talked about.
Right. No, thank you for that. I did see that Mayor Williams is on the cover of the LMC magazine for this quarter, and some of us were in Duluth when she actually received that award, and very well deserved. I believe it's the highest award that the League of Minnesota City hands out for public officials, so very nice. Councilor Brennan.
I attended FISH, the FISH meeting, and FISH had a presentation by MICASA and Advocates for the Thriving Community. Chelsea also presented on the work that Shakopee is doing in equity and inclusion, and spoke about programs that we have at the community center, as well as the recent donation that we received for the swim classes for women. I attended the RAR 175th anniversary. They haven't been here for that long, but the business was 175 years. That's just amazing. And they've been really a good business to have in our community, and how they help sponsor activities that we do. I attended the TAP 2022, and there was a lot of people here that were testing out beer, and it was a great opportunity to show off Shakopee. I attended the Southern Valley Alliance groundbreaking at the corner of 3rd Avenue and Holmes. They're going to be located near the Scott County Justice Center. So great for them and the people that they serve. The SPU meeting was canceled last night. However, Greg Drent reported that he and the Minnesota Valley Electric presented the electric territory agreement to the PUC, and it was approved by the commission. And I attended the Live, Learn, and Earn Housing Committee and Scale. This morning, I went to the Scott County meeting. The commissioners approved the preliminary tax levy, and a public hearing is scheduled for December 8th on the final levy. And the commission was presented with information on healthy and active lifestyles, and they pointed out the edible landscape garden at Scenic Heights Park and the community garden at 10th and Spencer. That was really pointed out because of bringing fresh fruits and vegetables into the needy community. I think that's all I have tonight.
Councilor Brennan, thank you very much. For my mayor's report, I met with Representative Angie Craig ahead of TAP 2022, and we talked about her efforts to advance some funding again for our culture corridor and our innovation center. This is an effort that may go forward by the end of the year 4/2023, so she's keeping me abreast on that. I did attend the TAP 22. I want to really shout out to Michael Kursky, the entrepreneur aspect tied in with the TAP 22. You did a great job. 700 people showed up, paid patrons, a great event, nice day, 44 brewers. I think everybody had a good time. Much appreciated, and I've already gotten emails, when can we do it again? So the great thing to have. Our community really knows how to come together. On September 13th, I also attended the Southern Valley Alliance groundbreaking. It's just going to be great to have that organization and that resource directly in our community, very close to the Scott County Justice Center. You know, domestic violence is alive and well, unfortunately, but this is a great organization, and we're glad to have them in our community. Couple things coming up: our Shakopee photo contest, our annual. I think the deadline is September 30th. So for you photographers, some great photos over the years. Get those submitted. And our fireman's dance is Friday night at Turtles. So that's my mayor's report, and now we'll go over to the administration report. Nate?
No report from administration.
Okay. All right.
We can try
Counselor
Steve.
Lehman.
Want to try Steve?
Other business?
We're moving forward to number 9, other business, yes.
Mayor, I didn't want to take the delinquent stuff off the consent agenda, but I had a question I wanted to put to staff for information, and just bring that to us at some time, email or whatever. But the question was, you know, the garbage or delinquency is, what, 75,000 roughly. How does that compare to last year? And I know in the past we talked about the shadow billing for properties that are rented, so that the property owner can keep abreast on the rental properties, that the renters might not be keeping up on it. So if we could figure out how much of that is that rental owner stuff, and how it compares to last year.
Yeah, I can bring it back with the next council meeting, but I can address part of those questions. Is the listing was quite a bit higher, at least the number was from the previous listing that we had. It has come down quite a bit with a new listing that was provided to you. I think their last past due notice was mailed at the end of last month, due on the 15th, so the updated list captured quite a few of those payments, but it's still quite a bit higher. As we get payments in and phone calls, we'll kind of keep track of what type of situations there are. I know with the shadow billing, part of that just depends on if they have all that information or not. So we'll just kind of see what we get back with,
Yeah, and
with questions and
just,
comments from
I was thinking just an email update or something to all of us would be fine.
As we found in the past, right before the public hearing
Right, right.
I
drops
think
quite a
our
bit.
memo did talk about that. I think efforts did go to the landowner as well, and depending, and it's been a battle for all communities a long time, but at the end of the day, the landowner is responsible. And so the number was high, but I see it came down by almost 20 grand here, just in the recent, from the time you published the notice. So that's good news, and maybe we'll have another update before it goes final when we adjust that. So
Very good.
thank you for that. Any other business before this council? Any other business? If not, Counselor Whiting?
I'll make a motion to adjourn to Tuesday, October 4th, 2022 at 7 p.m.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to adjourn, and I hope that everybody enjoys the last couple days of summer. Today was very nice. Tomorrow will be a little chillier, and then Thursday is the first day of fall, I believe. So,
All this week.
further discussion? Discussion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, those opposed, motion carries. We are adjourned at 7:20.